So then what stops you from winning the Conference League? And then what stops you from winning the non-league trophies for you to then go and play in the Champions League? What stops you to do that? Do that. My point is, how low? When do you stop though? When is the line?
Maybe you should.
When do you draw the line? Where do you be like, okay, that no longer warrants the Champions League?
Top level.
What stops you from saying the Johnson Paint Trophy shouldn't be in the Champions League?
Because it doesn't embrace
You just said the champions, whoever wins the cups, right? Champions are champions. So a champion of the Johnson Paint Trophy should be in the Champions League, right?
One player might win the Europa League trophy and the Europa Conference League trophy this year. Do you know who it is? We pulled balls out of a hat.
We drew our teams.
We drew our teams.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the FM show. I am of course your host Tony Jameson, joined once again by the wonderful RDF Tactics aka Arron and Mr. Maggio. Si, how are we, buddy? Are we well?
I'm good. I don't know what I just did. I just did a hand symbol like that. I don't know what that is. It's probably some gang sign or something. I don't know.
I was gonna say.
It was like I was like I couldn't decide between like.
I was like, Si's in there. Okay.
It was, for the audio listeners, it was sort of like a gun, but like sideways, so you couldn't quite see it. Like 2 fingers up, 2 fingers down. But like
Si's picked his side. Yeah. Like, come on,
I was gonna wave,
especially UK
and then I was gonna salute, and then I was gonna salute with. Do they salute with 2 fingers in the US? Do they do like that?
Shoot you. Okay. Oh.
And then I thought, this is all gonna look ridiculous, and I just sort of panicked and did that. Yeah.
So essentially, you went from like hardcore gangster to the Scouts like very quickly. Arron, save us. You're back, mate. Welcome back after a week's worth of norovirus. How are you, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, man. That virus, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But that was just...
Are there any viruses you would recommend?
No, some viruses, you get the bacteria out. You're like, yeah, I needed that one. I needed a little reset, but this one this one killed me, man. Worst thing, it was only like 2 days of, one day of it really being really bad. The next day was recovery, and then the flu came after that. But that one day, it just hits you and there's nothing you can do. I remember we was at a carnival. We was at a local carnival. And then, I didn't eat, and I was like, okay, my belly's hurting. I need to eat a burger. Ate a burger. And I was just standing for about 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is not right. I'm going home. As soon as I got home, I laid down, and it all came out. And
it's those carnival burgers.
Yeah. And then that's when I made enemies with water, because the more water I drank, the more it came out. I was like, I know you need to drink water, but it's literally making me feel worse. So, yeah.
Arron Falloon, red injured last week. Proper red injured.
He's just given a good image for visual and audio listeners.
Yeah, we got to raise some awareness for this thing. I thought I was going to die. We got to raise some awareness for this, man.
Campaign.
This month we're raising money for norovirus. So just if you can click the donation link in the description below, that'd be fantastic.
Because someone's got to pay, because you've got to eat, right? So someone's got to pay for the food that you're just going to be bringing up. So it's just like constant waste of food. So someone's going to have to supply that. They're cleaning products as well. Oh man, possibly new bed sheets. So. Yeah, man, we need to raise some awareness with this. This is
right. I'm just going to say, okay, at the time of recording, this is the 10th of May, okay? FM25 not being around has really affected Arron quite badly right now. That this is the start of a podcast where he's now talking about everything that his norovirus has affected him, okay? I'm not saying that he needs to handle this better, but I think you need to handle it better, Arron.
You can't handle it. It's just...
Mate. Right, I'm not on about your norovirus here at this point. Right? I'm on that you're handling it like the people who are still, and I had it in my chat this week on stream. I still had people angry at no FM25 this week, as if the news hadn't filtered out prior to this moment. Like it's as if they'd heard it for the first time, and the people that were getting angry in stream, like I thought about it for a second, and I thought that some of these people are would probably forgive. Like, there's more chance of like Liverpool fans forgiving Trent Alexander-Arnold for moving to Real Madrid than some people have of Miles Jacobson cancelling FM25. Like, I'm surprised there hasn't been videos online of people burning copies of FM14 like in their gardens. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the level of anger that I've still got somewhere on my Twitch and TikTok channels now. It's crazy. The heat's doing weird things to people's brains.
I'm waiting for my my update to GTA 5, considering they've delayed GTA 6. I'm hoping they update it with all the Miami characters.
Oh, well, there is a GTA 6 though, isn't there? We know that for definite, and we have a release date for that. So again,
and we have a trailer.
Yeah, they've shown gameplay, which is probably more than we've seen for.
But see, there we go.
People were a lot less.
It's coming.
People were a lot less angry, but they
because you always knew it was coming. Like there was no doubt. There was no. It was the news probably came out early enough as well. Like, okay, we're cancelling it or we're delaying it. There wasn't no like, okay, where are you? Where are you?
What if GTA never comes? What if it's their masterpiece?
That would be the best pull rug ever. Honestly, I want everyone. I want that to happen. Like because I'm not a big GTA fan. Part of me is like, I just want everyone to buy it and then for them just to disappear, just randomly, they're just gone.
Okay, well, here's the question then, right? Like, is all this feeling coming back up again because, as we say at time of recording, we are pretty much at the end of the European season now. We've got like the last couple of games to go. We're in the playoffs in the Football League. Like, is it now that realization that, yeah, we've got another summer transfer window to go, and then when that season starts, there is the unknown as to whether or not what comes and when it comes. Is that maybe what's fueling a bit of this revived feeling, do you think?
Possibly, because let's be honest, there's not... Whoever did watch the Champions League semi-finals and the end of the championship and now the playoffs, like, I watched that, and obviously as someone that's been playing the FM quite often, I'm like, you watch it, I'm like, all right, I need to manage one of these teams on FM, and like, part of me is just always like, all right, let me try and open up FM when I watch these games. And that still happens. So possibly for people, if they get that feeling, it could be the end of the season where it's like, now they're getting excited. Oh, the transfer window's opening. And sometimes that's when people, again, open up Football Manager to see what's going on and what players are about. So there's possibly, what's happening in real life football. It's probably getting people a bit more annoyed that there's no FM to fall back on. Possibly.
That's fair side, you reckon?
I wonder, like, the thing is, we're at the point. I think even in a normal cycle, people are in like a bit of a lull right here because the summer transfers haven't happened yet. The season's wrapping up, so if you start a save now, you're starting like with the players. Well, obviously in this year's game with players from 2 years ago, unless you use an updated database. But you'd be starting with the players from a year ago. You wouldn't be starting as if you're going into the next window, which is about to happen. Now we're like 3 windows behind. Well, 6 windows behind, right? 6 transfer windows behind. And we're looking like... I guess there's going to be a database. Of course, there'll be a database by someone in a few weeks or a few months. But right now, it's like there's no transfers that are happening in real life. The leagues are mostly wrapped up or they're about to wrap up. Like, there's probably just a bit of general, like, unless you're a Liverpool fan or a PSG fan or an Inter fan, like, that's it. Your season's done, right? I mean, Liverpool fan, your season's done, but you've won, so you're happy.
Are we waiting for the mad scientist to bring out his 24-25 database? Just for lols. Just be like, I've done a database that was never even meant to be there.
2072, 2073. I'd like him to make that, please, with cybernetic players.
I mean, right, Arron, I don't want to anger you early on in the podcast, but there will be a team selection of fans who will be looking at real life fixtures and thinking, oh, you know what? I could do with a new game coming out now because there might be a chance to get rid of a certain doesn't win anything tag off their shoulders. I mean, that's got to be sitting, that's got to be hurting in your corner, right?
Yeah, I don't know, because because again, like I'm been off social media a lot as well. Like a lot of people can.
Oh,
tell
in that case, Arron, Tottenham are in the European Cup final. Just in case you've been off your social media and weren't sure what's going on.
Yeah, so like again, like obviously as a gooner, like I'm proud. Like I don't know why. Yeah, it's like when you go online and you see so many different things, and I have bitten a couple times, but sometimes just reading, I'm like, what planet are people like? But now it's getting. But see what? So I did put a post out as well, and it was kind of a shock to some people, and it's like I do feel that the quality of content on X, because I feel like the people that I don't want to say like once respected, but those people that I felt like I held their opinion high regarded, like they're now playing this engagement game and they're doing it for the likes and that. So now it's just like flipping. Now I can't even come on Twitter to find like a decent post about football anymore. So I sort of avoid football on like X and that sort of stuff. So as an Arsenal fan, I'm proud, but then I forgot about the semi-final that Tottenham and Man United were in a European semi-final. Like I completely forgot about that. So like we lost against PSG. I'm like, damn it, man, that hurt. But come on, next year. And then the next day comes Thursday. I was like, holy crap. One of these two teams have been playing in the final, if not both. And one of them is going to have to win it. So.
Well, here's the thing as well. Next year, we're going to say next year, the FM26 comes out. There's going to be 6 teams in the Champions League.
From the Premier League.
See, Wenger...
From the Premier League, like, come on.
Wenger made a point, right? Wenger said whoever wins the Europa shouldn't be automatically go in the Champions League. Like, it just doesn't make sense that you finish 15th and you're in the Champions League.
I mean,
like,
if only
to my
they'd
head, I'm
written those
like...
rules 10 years ago.
If that comes from a gooner, it does sound salty, but in this situation, in this scenario, it does make sense. Like, if we've already got 5 teams, the top 5, why then the team that's the 6th team is either the team that's finished 15th or 13th in the Premier League. That is mental.
Yeah, well, that's just a quirk, isn't it? That's just like, you could win the FA Cup. Wigan, when Portsmouth
exactly, yeah, it's the same thing. The same thing applies. The same thing applies. Like, I think now, like, previously it did make sense, or did make a bit of sense. Like, it was added, the European competition had to have an extra team. So that was the spot, right? Whoever won got that extra spot. But now that extra spot is not really needed, is it? You've already got 5 teams.
No, the Champions League is all the champions. I think it makes more sense for the winner of the Europa League to be in there than in second place in the Premier League.
Exactly.
No
it's the
I'm sorry. It's the Champions League.
It's not. No, because you're thinking about the top 4 league. You got to think about who your opponents are, though.
Champions.
So
they're all
winning.
Champions.
Exactly.
Not losers. Not people who get knocked out in semi-finals.
No.
Not people who finish second.
I don't get hurt by that. That literally doesn't make sense. But like, to me, that don't make sense.
It's called the Champions League. It's for champions.
Yeah. It should be. It should be. Win the league or win a cup, you get into the Champions League. That's what it should be. But that's always when they rebranded the European Cup to the Champions League. Originally, it was just the league winners.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, we're just getting wrapped up in the name of the trophy, but we know that's not what the trophy means, though, is it?
But the second the second that they started adding the second place team, the runners up, it was no longer the Champions League. Like it's
just a European trophy, right?
Yeah, it's the European Super League,
exactly.
But it's not played in Dubai. Like, let's be honest, that's essentially what it is. It's the European Super League. That thing
for me I don't feel that warrants you to play then in the Champions League because you've won the European League.
So why does finishing 4th in the Premier League get you?
Because the whole point in the Champions League is supposed to be the best of the best in those leagues, right? That's the whole point. That's the purpose of the thing. The top 4 or the top 2 that gets qualified in the domestic league goes into the Champions League, right?
But why then should
that's
say,
just the
for
rules.
example, you're in Norway, right? And you win your league, or you're in Scotland and you win your league.
That's Champions League.
You've got to go but you've got to go through qualifiers in the Champions League to get in, and you might not even get past. You might have to do that many qualifiers. You won't even get into the Champions League because the 3rd place team in the Premier League is already there because previously they've been in the Champions League a lot, so they've already been nudged forward. That doesn't seem fair.
That's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is just silly. But I don't think that still means that whoever wins the Europa, so then what stops you from winning the Conference League, and then what stops you from winning the flipping the non-league trophies for you to then go and play in the Champions League. What stops you to do that? My point is, how low? When do you stop though? When is the line?
Maybe you should.
When do you draw the line? When do you be like, okay, that no longer warrants a Champions League?
Top level.
What stops you from saying the Johnson Paint Trophy shouldn't be in the Champions League?
Because it doesn't bring
You
that.
just said the champions, whoever wins the cups, right? Champions are champions. So a champion of the Johnson Paint Trophy should be in the Champions League, right?
The champions.
Why not? Because the quality of the quality of the opponents, right? You wouldn't say that because the quality of the opponents. That's my point of the champion of the Europa League. You're literally playing no disrespect. You're playing in Armenia or whatever it is, and because you've beaten those teams, you've now warranted a spot in the Champions League.
You beat Southampton.
We didn't.
Arsenal. Did Arsenal not beat Southampton this year?
Yeah, but I don't understand.
I mean, they're not exactly great, are they?
Also, as well, the
we've also beat
English
Man
Premier
City
League,
and the best of the best. So I don't understand. I don't understand that.
There's still like a 15-point gap at the top of the Premier League. It's not a great league anymore. That's the problem. I
think if you finish more than 14 points behind the team above, you shouldn't qualify.
You should be stripped of any European competition for making a fool of yourself.
I don't know how because it's never going to be equal, right? Because you're going to say, all right, what? How many teams from England get to qualify, and how many teams from
why
Norway?
don't you have all 20 English teams in the Champions League?
Because
they're not the best, though, are they?
Don't have me, because I don't ever think that. I was going to say I don't ever think that the England thing's the best anyway. So
I think probably 15 of the English teams could probably beat anyone out of Moldova.
But is that down? But is that down to come to finance though? Because
it doesn't matter what it's down to. They're simply better, aren't they?
Let's work this out because we're almost into the
Champions League.
The space.
We're going to fix the Champions League.
The Space League chat now, aren't we? Because you would have. Right, who would be your top teams out of? Is this a podcast we're going to do? This sounds like a podcast we're going to do right now. Right.
Before we do, I just want to point out, a few weeks ago, we started with Real World Football Chat and Tony cut the episode and we had to restart. We'd recorded about 10 minutes. Tony did not want to do Real World Football Chat. Today, Sunderland's won in the playoffs yesterday and he's over the bloody moon and he wants to take the mick out of Arron for Arsenal and Spurs. It's like, no, today, Real World Football's allowed.
Can I just say, at the time of recording, yes, we won the first leg. Don't know if we've won the second leg yet. So please do comment below as to whether we did or didn't. I've got a ticket for the match, and I'm not a good luck charm. We've discussed this before we even started recording. I can't remember the last time I saw Sunderland win at the Stadium of Light. So
Coventry go to
terribly sorry, Sunderland fans. If it, right. Are we gonna fix the Champions League? I don't really feel as though it's our purpose.
I mean,
to be honest.
How many? Okay, I think we're probably on the same page. That you wouldn't go a Super League. Do you like the new format?
Yeah, ish.
Do you like the new format in Football Manager?
Yeah, I prefer it in Football Manager than I do in real life. And I think I'm gonna take back my Europa League comment.
I think in Football Manager it's kind of fun because you played like loads of different teams. And you got quite a good chance of getting through. And
now it's good in Football Manager. I didn't really like it in real life. It was kind of like, as a fan, I guess it was like, I think it's just so used to the group stages and how that if you lose one and if you lose two, then you're going to play this team away, then you play that team away. But this way, it's just like, it's so like, I don't know how to explain it. It
felt a bit fresher. It felt like
it's hard to get your grips.
It's hard all the time.
It's hard to know your place. It's like you're 4 games in, but you don't know if you're safe or.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you don't know where you are. It's just like
if
you've got to really wait for the last 2 games. Yeah, it's really the last 2 games that shape things. Yeah. It's like it was just like you could lose the first 2 and then not it be a problem by the end of the 10th or whatever game it is.
Yeah, that's it. Like I don't know what.
So it's just,
There's been some. Like I've won Ipswich top of the Premier League after 10 games once. It'd be like it's like yeah. Obviously, they fell off after 10 games. The other thing that I did notice, and I think my worry about it was it would just be like, the big teams will end up at the top and the small teams will end up at the bottom. And that does tend to happen in Football Manager a little bit. But in real life, that didn't tend to happen. You know, Man City struggled. Barcelona, I think, struggled, right? Like a couple.
It was PSG, Man City, and
they had to play the playoffs, right? AC Milan had to play a playoff. Like these teams that maybe you'd expect to finish in the top 8, maybe not AC Milan, but the you know.
See, and that's sort of like, it's just the extra games, though. I think that's where, again, like, for football, it's the extra games, isn't it? Like the playoffs.
What about the fact that they don't drop down to the Europa League now?
Okay, now let me go back to my point. Right? Let me go back to my point. How unfair is it that you get to bloody win this cup and you go to the Champions League, but those that were fighting and probably had to go through. Oh, no, it's horrible. It's horrible. So those, again, like you're talking about, those teams that are qualifying, right? They have to qualify to get to the Champions League. You get knocked out of the Champions League. That's the end of their journey.
No, they're going to Europa League.
Mm-hmm. No, they go to Europa.
No, if they got to the group, if they reach the league phase, that's it.
Yeah, they reach the league phase. They get 10 Champions League matches. I think that's plenty.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need more than 10 matches or 8 matches. How many matches is it? Is it 10?
How much was it before? Was it 6? In the group stages?
Yeah,
It was 6 matches before, wasn't it? Yeah, and is it now 8 or 10? I think it is. I think it's at least 8.
8.
Mm-hmm. So, and obviously with more money as well.
So what's the difference? We're only talking about 2 games here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Yeah, but you don't then drop into the Europa, because you used to if you're third you go Europa, fourth you get knocked out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I
Whereas
think
now,
those
of course,
teams that are in the
knocked out.
playoff, I
So
don't know,
it's
man.
the incentive. It's the incentive to win the Europa rather than see it as a lesser competition and a bit of a distraction. Because you used to have like your again, your Fulhams and your Middlesbroughs and your West Hams would be in the Europa League. Like
I think that's always been for quite. So I remember when we got to the Europa League final, it was like we don't. That's the thing. Like you don't care about the trophy. You're in your head as if you're a team like that. Like Man United aren't really thinking about, oh my God, great European night. We can win this European trophy. They care about, this is our gateway to the Champions League. Mm-hmm. That's all they're thinking about. Tottenham are a little bit different because they win a European trophy, but at the end of the day, I guarantee their main prizes were back into the Champions League. And that's just the gateway. So they don't really care about the trophy as opposed to other teams that are in that competition. So yeah, there is a little bit more to play for some teams in that regard that they get to Champions League football. But it should be about winning a European trophy, though, really, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think even the Conference League champions should go into the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Not into the Europa League.
Who would that be this year, though?
Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Or...
Oh, so that will be how many teams in the
Thank God another English team gets a chance to the Champions League.
Is it Fiorentina? Is it Chelsea?
You're trying to break it.
I tell you, by the end of the 2027-28 season, like Blackburn will be in the Champions League. They'll have gone down the mid part of the Championship. Just like, anyone who can turn up on this day gets in the Champions League. Like, it's ridiculous.
They don't let it.
I'll take that comment back. I do think, if you win the Europa League, that should be your pathway into the Champions League. I don't know about a pass, as in like right now you're in the league phase straight away. Maybe you should still play to get to that stage. But at some point, okay, I agree. Yeah, you should get a pass.
The only question I've got though about this, okay, and I agree that the winners of the Europa League should go in the Champions League.
It's just
the only question I've got. The only question I've got is who then defends the Europa League. That's the only question I've got on the matter. Is you don't have your defending champions unless you make them play both matches and like you've got a double shift, which. Of course, it's not going to happen, but I do feel as though you miss something by not having the defending holders in there. Like,
you're basically conceding this is the lesser trophy.
Yeah, and it's like winning the Champions League, finishing sixth, and not being allowed to get back in.
It is, but you're not supposed to feel that way, though, is it? Like,
I mean, Spurs might win the backup trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it that way.
That's just.
Am I convincing you now?
Spurs and Harry Kane winning a trophy in one season.
I really do want to banter Tottenham and stuff, but at the end of the day, like in my head, I'm such a football fan. I'm like, it's a European trophy. Like, if I'm a Gooner and we've never won a European trophy, I don't care if it's the Champions League, Conference League, or the Europa League. A European trophy is a European trophy. You played some decent teams to get that far, and that's the thing. Like, people do look at. I know I mentioned the level of competition, but still, like playing teams like Bodo Glimt and I think Tottenham played a team in Germany. They're not exactly easy teams. They're not just walkover teams. they're still pretty decent. They can catch you out on their day as well. Like, I really do want to banner Tottenham and how has the second trophy, but it's a trophy. We ain't got none.
It's difficult when they're doing an over-top bus parade, isn't it? It's like, yeah, look at you idiots winning a trophy. I mean, obviously we could do it in Newcastle, but you know,
I've got a question.
Trophy.
One player might win the Europa League trophy and the Europa Conference League trophy this year. Do you know who it is? You're working out why, aren't you? You're like, huh?
Europa League, Mason Mount.
It's not Mason Mount.
No, you said Europa League and
the Conference.
And
League.
Conference.
He might win both. I'm going to check it. I don't know how many fixtures
is it Harry? Oh no, is it Eric Dyer?
You're not far off, but it's not Eric Dyer. Bayern aren't in anything.
That...
He's at Bayern.
No, but he's left for next season, hasn't he? He's gone to Monaco, I think.
Oh, has he?
I think so, yeah.
I need to get this.
Is it Harry Winks, the Moroccan Harry Winks from last week?
It's the Brazilian Harry Winks.
The Brazilian Harry Winks?
Yeah.
Casemiro?
You're closer.
Kleberson?
You're closer even more.
Kleber?
No.
Oh, Son.
I'll give you the clubs. One of them's Man United. He played 4 times for Man United in Europa League, which I assume is enough to get a medal.
Yeah.
And he's gone on loan.
Oh, Sancho. It can't be. I was about to say it's not Sancho. Sancho was Summer.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony.
He's at Betis.
Well, I didn't know that other team was in the bloody competition.
Yeah, they're against Chelsea in the final. So Anthony could be double. He could be the first person to win both in one season. And I've not fact checked that, so someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm claiming.
Welcome to the FM show. We make our facts up as we go along.
The likelihood of it having happened before is pretty slim, I'd imagine. Someone winning both in the same season.
That should be possible.
It feels like something similar should be happening. I'm sure I heard a similar stat recently, but I don't know what it was in relation to.
I'm
pretty sure like it on the last Friday or something.
Or is it
was it the manager or something? Someone
who can win the it was what's he called? The Georgian fella whose name I can't pronounce.
Vara.
Yeah, the guy who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. He can win Ligue 1,
Serie
A, and the Champions League in the same season, and that will be the first time that's ever happened as well. He's played enough matches in Serie A to
qualify for Europe this year, as we found out in our FM network safe. The Napoli.
There's a link, Si. Yeah, look at that. Smooth like butter. The network save has started, and nothing of interest has happened at all. Spoiler alert: it's very interesting, and the league's about to start. The league's not quite about to start. We've got the preseason done. For those of you who have been watching on Patreon, hope you've been enjoying it. We've got some big games. Arron's got to start the season before everyone else. Not as punishment, I don't think, but he's got to do the first round of the Copa Italia. I've got the European Super Cup final because Atalanta won the Europa League.
Yep.
How about this? If you win the Super Cup, you get into the Champions League. How about that?
Fingers crossed that's what happens to me, Arron, right? Yeah. Why don't you get the Charity Shield and get in the Champions League?
I fixed it.
So you can only get into the Champions League if you beat the winners of the Champions League.
Because like Tony made the point, right? Like you are now losing the winners. Like no one can. The champions are gone of this competition. Yeah. I don't think that's just an easy pass. No, you have to play this game, the Super Cup, Real Madrid versus Atalanta. You win this, you're in the group stages. You don't win it.
How about then? But if the Champions League winner loses to the Europa Cup winner, the Champions League winner has to go play in the Europa
League. So what about
friendly for them?
What about when Peterborough beat Paris Saint-Germain, right? the Johnstone's Paints Trophies finalists turn up in the third round of the Champions League. You know, great.
Why not?
So yeah, we are just about to start. You've got Real Madrid. Are you fancying your chances
Easy, mate. Why not? The traditional curtain raiser. Yeah, I think it's it wasn't the opening fixture I was hoping for, put it that way.
Like, you're looking at your team. So for those who missed the episode with Ches where we drew our team and haven't been following the network save, we pulled balls out of a hat.
We drew our teams.
We drew our teams. We had a chance to twist. Well, I don't think any of us twisted, did we? Or did you twist, Tony?
I did. I got offered Juventus first of all, and I was like, no, don't want Juventus. And then I got Atalanta, and I was like, I feel better with Atalanta, because I did Atalanta in the beta way back at the start of FM24. So that was in 1926. I started that one. And I had a lovely time. And then I was Atalanta in the FM show tournament as well, which the least said about my performances in that, the better. And I was like, right, fine, Atalanta. I feel decent with Atalanta. And then they're expecting me to finish mid-table. So I feel very happy with that.
But you do have Champions League football, right?
Yeah.
Because you won the Europa League, of course.
Because I won the Europa League, so that's why.
That's it.
And so I can just finish mid-table and be a Champions League club. So, easy.
And
how about you boys?
Well, Arron also has Champions League football. But I think Arron has Champions League football because you won the Europa League. There was an extra space in the league table. So maybe we should take that one away from him.
I think so, probably, yeah.
I wouldn't mind that, to be honest, because I'm not fancying going to Paris.
So what's your team,
my team,
Arron?
So I did pick Bologna, or the Bulls picked Bologna.
Yeah, but you didn't twist. You decided to stick, which surprised me.
I felt that's a good team, and
that's the worst team out of the 10. And you're like, oh, that's a good team.
It's a fun team. I don't think is it the worst?
Out of the
Super Lewis Ferguson, it can't be the worst.
Maybe if we're looking at individuals, but if we're looking at actual squad, I do still think Juve are very unbalanced.
Okay.
And very disorganized. Yeah, so I think I too wanted to avoid Juve, so I just chose to stick.
Well, Juve had already been drawn, so you couldn't have got Juve if you just twisted. You would have ended up AC Milan.
No, it was Milan's the team. Sorry, Milan was the team I said I wanted to avoid. Yeah, it was Milan. Yeah.
They're in the cup final in real life, but they're down in 9th in the league. Crazy season. Yeah. So you've got Bologna, and you got Lewis Ferguson. Happy with the team.
Yeah and no. I did find out that the players are good. That this is weird, a weird problem to have. The players are good. So I've got like 4 or 5 strikers. They're all good, but they're all at similar levels. So I'm not looking at any of them thinking, I'm going to build a team around you. So it's like lots of players with like their pace and their agility is all 13, 14s, finishing 13, 14, off the ball 13, 14. It's like they're all very similar. So I had to bring in Jean-Philippe Mateta, and exciting.
How much did you pay for it?
Can't wait.
6 mil. A bargain.
Yeah.
How did you manage that? Honestly,
when these players hear that Aaron's the manager, they all want to play for me.
I'm curious how much.
That's like Lewis Champions League football, isn't it? Si?
I want to know if he's got like if he's done it on the Never Never, as if like where it's.
There's no Never Nevers.
He's paying like
we don't do Never Nevers. I told you
about
Never Nevers.
Let's go check.
We don't do Never Nevers.
Who is
not
it?
Even at the.
Hey, you've actually got some clauses here you can claim in. You get money for Nicholas.
Don't tell him that. Don't give him extra money. He's not got a single thing there. Yeah.
Mateta appearance money.
Mateta,
there's $1 million per appearance. 1.4 million per appearance.
No, after 50 appearances.
Could you imagine if it was 1.4 million per match? Actually, that nearly happened to you on one of your signings, didn't it, Tony? Who was it? They wanted like 100k an appearance on someone.
It was Amad Diallo. I thought I was going to get him back to Atalanta, and I thought I was quite smug with myself. I was like, "Ooh, we've agreed a deal here," and then it went to be agreed, and the board were like, "We can't finance this £90 million deal." I'm like, "What £90 million deal? I thought we'd got him on loan," and it turned out it was meant to be like £2 million a week or a month, and then appearance fees and that. And I was like, "Soz Ahmad, you can't come." So, so I've not exactly gone heavy in the transfer market. We've had 1 or 2 brought in, but it's been frustrating, to be honest, trying to get the transfer market working. I brought in Ngia, who's a centre back from Lazio, who looks like he should be quite fine. Big, powerful centre-back. Looks like he's strong. Looks like he can tackle. Looks like he can head. So I said, right, get him in there alongside, Scalvini and I've got another centre-back in there as well who I think's on loan, who I'm not overly familiar with. But yeah, so he's there like when the game starts. Sorry, where is that? Casino, that's the guy.
Yeah, what screen am I on? Discipline. Let's get off.
That's right. Yeah. So there. Where is he? Fourth one
Good
down.
Dimitri.
Fourth one down, just below.
It's not bad.
Dimitri, yeah, he's not bad. He lacks a little bit of pace. I know you're in Serie A, so pace isn't really a thing. But he's got a little bit. He's a little bit quicker, and he can jump. This guy. So
all these down arrows.
We'll play him
what
out.
did you done? Did you show up?
I turned up. Yeah, I turned up. Yeah, that's the problem. So I've got them, and then I bought Berardi as well because I thought, you know what, Berardi will be quite a good signing.
16.
Finally got him over the line. Yeah, decent, I thought. But he's broke his arm, so he's out for 8 weeks.
Oh, you've given him star player as well.
Well, yeah, because I wanted him in, and then he didn't even. I didn't even clock that I had a plaster cast on his arm when we were talking.
Weeks here. You might be all right.
I signed him 3 weeks ago.
When do you?
So
hang on. When do you need him by?
Is he going to be ready for the start of the season? That's the problem.
When do you need him by?
Oh yeah, and he now wants me to strengthen the midfield. I was like, you were meant to strengthen the midfield. Like, you being here is the guy.
Well, he plays out wide. You're not playing him out wide.
Well, we'll see.
Do you play? Wait.
We'll get into tactics. Oh, there. Okay, we'll talk tactics.
Go
now,
on.
shall we?
We're there. We've talked about it now. You don't have wide players. Where were you going to use?
I was
Berardi?
going to try. Right. Well, this is the thing. I'm not 100% sure. So my plan was, right? My plan was, he's a right winger, but don't worry. I think I've got a plan here, right? So my plan, audio listeners, please try and follow this, okay? Visual listeners, please try and follow this because, again, we're going off on rocky territory at this point. My plan is I wanted to go 3 at the back, okay? I wanted to go 3 at the back with Atalanta because I want to get Scalvini roaming around because he's got the ability to do so. So you're in Italy, you've got to have a libero. You have to have a libero.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to, because if you haven't, why are you here? I've got Darun and I've got Edison as the two sort of like defensive midfielders. Edison's playing as a DLP at the minute, but I might change him to possibly a regista because, again, we're in Italy. I know you're expecting him to play a little bit higher, but in front of him, I've got CDK, De Ketelaere, who has to sit and he's going to pull my strings. He's my number 10 and he's 6'4", so he can do loads of stuff. Yeah. We mentioned before we even started recording, I've had him out before as a wide playmaker before. So if I do go into a 4-2-4, he can go out wide. If I go 4-2-4, I can have Berardi out wide. We've got Retegui and we've got Scamacca up top. Retegui, I'm not.
Retegui,
yeah. I'll pronounce it however you want. You write it down with arrows here.
Like, I'm not. If it was just normal, I wouldn't correct you. But we've got like a couple of months of this, so I think if we go Retegui, and I already, who the hell is Retegui? Retegui.
I'm going to call him Retegui, right? So he's
Retegui. It is.
Like, he might be good enough as a striker. I don't know. Scamacca is good enough in this division because, again, he's big and he's tall and he's strong.
He might be good enough as a striker. You don't know. His attributes are all there, Tony. You can see him.
I know they are. But there's just, look, I feel as though Arron said before he's got a squad of good players, but no real stars. I've got a squad of good players that are just kind of like there, and I'm like, I don't really know where to add extra quality, because I thought I get a blank canvas, work with what I've got first, because that's always my style, work with what I've got, rather than crowbarring people in. So, yeah.
I just noticed something that I've never noticed this thing on my skin before. It's from the Musterman skin.
Yeah.
And, I didn't even know it was on the skin I've been using. I don't know where it's come from.
What skin are you using? Is this Saz or is this WTCS? Saz, yeah. He added that in after a little while.
He must have added it in a recent one.
Yeah. So big Scamacca to aim for him. And we'll say about lack of wide players. I've got Zappacosta and Rigeri. Defensive wingers. I love a defensive winger. So my plan is stay compact, sit deep, hit on the brake, and try and bore teams to death and counter-attack. That's my plan.
So Cuadrado doesn't make you a starting 11?
Not yet. But there's a long season. I've got Champions League football side. I finished like 19th or something. So
You didn't finish 19th. The previous man... he's been there forever.
Gasparini.
Gasparini,
Gasparini, wasn't it?
Gasparini. Famously part of a little merry-go-round of Palermo managers. All right. You've got a few right backs, actually.
I have, yeah.
What do you
some players
think
who
of
can play right
Brandon
back.
Soppy?
I think he's okay. I think he's quick. I think he's probably the sort of player I would use as a fullback or wing back if I was managing my actual save. But I think he maybe lacks a little bit defensively, possibly.
I think he lacks technically and mentally. I think he's awful. The game seems to kind of rate him, but also like not attributes. It seems to rate him on like ability. But I think the attributes are awful. Maybe pace makes up for it.
Yeah, and this game, pace does make up for it. That's the thing. But yeah, so I need to. I don't know. I think I'm lacking something.
So this is
but at the minute, I'm not 100% sure what.
With 2 DMs for anyone trying to picture it on the audio.
It's a 3-4-3, really, if you think about it, or it's a 3-5-2. So
yeah.
I guess in transition, it's probably a 3-4-3. But yeah.
You haven't got
Arron
loads of instructions on here.
No, keep it simple.
Low block. You're going for a cautious and a low block.
I like cautious on this game though. I don't know why. I like it.
Defensive.
It works for me.
A low defensive.
Aaron hates it.
I like
hates
defensive.
it, I can see.
Oh,
you like defensive?
The system is confusing my head.
Okay. Well, so out of this then,
it's more so like threat at the backs. I'm just like, because I did try it with I think I had a game with this but Longy one. I think it was a pre-season game. I had threat at the back. I was like, yeah, we're not playing 38 games with this. And it was a pre-season game as well. I could already see I'm not doing this.
Okay, so where would your eyes be looking to change then in that scenario there? Bear in mind, I might take some advice, I might not. We don't know, but
here you go, Aaron. How would you? The Lombardo. What is the Lombardo, Tony?
Just when you just think of a name, that'll do.
Wait, I like that in this version they have a connection.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So
the roles in it.
When you got Darun as I think it's the role more than anything else.
Yeah.
Go on then, Aaron. What would if you were setting up Tony's team? Where would you be going? It's suggesting a controlled possession game.
I know, yeah, you can still go with a 3. I think. See, with me at first, I would need to see the players. I think it would definitely still be at 3 at the back because that's just what Adslan to do. You can't do anything else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what system because it will be down to the personnel. I would have to see the personnel.
What about like this?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's kind of.
So that would be an option. You could have CDK as the CM there in the middle. Then you'd have Darun and Edison. So again, if I was maybe going away at one of the top teams, I could drop into something slightly more defensive here, bring CDK back, tighten up the midfield, or you can then go out wide and pull, the 3-5-2 and have like the sort of wide players.
See, this is what I would do. That would be my invention. I would try and do a Brazilian box with a 3 at the back.
Yeah.
But I think you could just make things go crazy, as in so you want Scalvini to be the libero, so I can have basically as one player pushes up. So let's say you're having that system there, but you have a shadow striker, right? And your idea is the shadow striker pushes up, the player behind him would then slightly push up. So it's basically just replacing each other. Like they're moving forward, replacing. So the libero steps up in DM, the DM steps up to attacking midfielder, and the attacking midfielder steps into striker.
That's why I've got the libero behind the ball winning midfielder, because I figured if he goes to press, then the libero can follow up in that place. I'm not sure if that's how it's meant to work in the
I'll probably
in the
go
match
with this
change,
box.
but
I would definitely start that Rayo Bellanova or whatever his name is.
Bellanova on the right. Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah, for me, he's the
right. Okay.
Yeah, he's the man.
I would start Samazic. I noticed that you've been
this is what I
after
wanted.
Scott McTominay, but you've got Samazic.
Well, Samazic and Ederson are going to be my sort of like who's going to hold that midfield, that number 6, number 8 down. I like the look of him.
He's 21. He's going to get better as well.
Oh yeah, of course he is. There's a lot of football to be played, Si. I'm not. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm just easing my way
we set
through
out
this.
the rules. You have to stick with the team you played on the first game week. That's it.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
fine.
change
That's
after that.
Oh my God! This is
What's-
Ademola Lookman.
Yeah, he
I
has
know we've got
Lookman,
Lookman as well. Yeah,
And he's built a tactic that doesn't use him.
Yeah.
He's built a tactic
Like,
that
oh,
doesn't
wait,
use
wow.
Ademola Lookman.
This is what's throwing me off.
Don't
He is injured, to be fair.
No.
But
exactly. He's injured, so I had to play
I think,
without him.
you know what? I'll probably go back to the original system and just have Ademola up front with
in
Skamaka.
place of
top.
Retege.
Yeah.
Retegui.
That would be my.
could you put Lookman in there? Okay, if I do like pick best
Yeah.
11, let's see what it suggests.
Berardi right mid. You put Lookman left mid, so they're just they're registered, recognized.
Just get rid
Just
of
putting Berardi
Rigeri.
there, even though he's not.
It's because it's the right midfield, right? So
Yeah.
they're
Well,
counting that as an attacking player.
Can he play that? Oh, he can play there. Yeah, he's competent. And then and Lookman on the
Yeah,
left.
so
You could do that.
it's not a million miles away from what I'm doing, is it? It could work.
You're just
Could
not
work.
going to get any defensive width.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what you play against the weaker teams, and then against the stronger teams, you're like,
Well, it's interesting that they've changed the back 3 as well. So it's got Kolasinac, Jamistri, and Toloi. So there's no Scalvini in that back 3.
which was Samazic out.
They're not
Surely
rated Scalvini
Scalvini's
just
the-
yet.
The best player. But yeah, that's mine. That's mine. What have you boys gone with?
Right, let's go to Mr. RDF.
Go on, pick apart Mr. Tactics, yeah?
Yeah, I've gone with the.
You're missing.
look at
You're
that,
only playing
overpowered
what,
4-2-4.
You're only playing 9 players. That doesn't sound like a smart idea.
Wow, that's because one of my defensive midfielders got injured, and that's
Remo Frula.
that's sort of the area. That's the areas that I'm willing to rotate heavily anyway. So that's why, like, I don't have a set like 2 there.
Now you are retraining Lewis Ferguson, aren't you? To be a striker.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to make a new role, right? So I didn't want to technically use a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-4, but so I just thought, why not just make this role and call it a ball-winning attacking midfielder? And that is what Ferguson. It's just the ball-winning attacking midfielder. That's what the role's called. They're not doing anything else. I don't want you even to be a part of the football. Just run like a madman. If the ball drops to you, shoot. Possibly.
You could even change his marking position to have him sit a bit deeper. Like what position?
Yeah, I just don't know if that really works well in Football Manager. Sometimes I'm watching, I'm like, you're supposed to be man marking him. I don't know why you're standing on that side. But yeah, that's just really the plan. But I do like the wide playmaker as well. I don't think the advanced playmaker on the wings is the most effective role in the game in terms of like an inside forward will get you goals and a winger will dribble, cross. But I think sometimes when you are watching the football played in the match engine, the advanced playmaker he pieces the pieces together. He makes the football look more fluid and more enjoyable. Again, sometimes I do feel it's the difference between your team having 15 shots and 30 shots. Because again, inside forwards are very direct. So they're just going to go towards goal. Majority of the times, they're not actually trying to create great chances. They're just trying to create at any chance, if that makes sense. Whereas I think the playmaker is a bit more methodic with it. He's looking to create good chances, slide through balls in and actually create chances that we can benefit from.
Yeah, he's looking to bring others in as well, isn't he? So he's not just doing it himself.
Yeah.
As well. So it's like being less wasteful, I think.
And that Nicola Moro, he's not making a cut.
Well,
I do like the idea of creating a new role. I do think that's pretty interesting, to be honest.
Now, it's a bit too early. I was actually going to suggest this in the group chat earlier, but I thought, you know what? The cancellation news is a bit too fresh, but if I had like a wish list, it would be for me to create my own little role. If there was like an FM26 wish list tactically, it would be for the ability to create your own roll.
But you could change all the bits up on the player and then just save it.
Yeah.
It's like a preset.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change the name, the hard-coded instructions.
could be
Obviously,
like-
once you set the hard-code, you can't change
You
the
could like
hard-code.
come in and select what parts of the pitch you want him to be in and which phases. right?
That sort of thing. So how you want him to be in possession and out of possession. It's like this is your idea of a role or of a footballer.
Like, you could be like, hey, if we're in possession, I want you here, 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 these boxes. Out of possession, I want you here, here. Although I guess you'd need like an arrow or something, right? To say which direction. I mean, okay, I have a question for you on this tactic, Aaron. Are you worried about this big space in the middle?
That's the Ferguson space. Ball with an attacking midfielder.
Let's see, he's going to go to there. This Volante's going to come up there, right? Who's your Volante going to be?
It's supposed to be that Fabian. The one next to on the left.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got the traits. He's got potential, but he's also got the traits.
But he's not a big passer.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't
gonna be
need
passing.
to, though,
He's
does
gonna
he?
be passing by that midfield with the off the ball movement. Passing, what's that? Toodles. That's his job. That's his job. That's all I wanted to do.
What is progressing your ball from back here to, particularly to
The
here?
playmaker. The playmaker and defensive midfielder.
No, what's getting the ball to the playmaker?
Oh, the players.
Just those two ball playing defenders, the two ball playing centre halves are going to start pinging balls
For
left,
the
right,
audio
and centre, right?
listeners, just in case they're wondering why I'm saying how do you get the ball to the playmaker is in the advanced right position on the right wing, not central at all. And all the other roles behind, you've got a DM, a Volante who's not very good at passing. You've got ball playing defenders, a fullback, a wing back, but the wing back's on the other side of the pitch.
And Ferguson is going to be getting up and down from the number 10s.
I'm questioning RDF Tactics, and I feel like I'm entering uncharted territory here.
Yeah, we've got plenty of ways to get to him. I mean, the right back. The thing is with Football Manager as well, I don't know how. It's like you got to realize in in real life, right? Like maybe a player doesn't have great passing. I wouldn't say Declan Rice. Yeah, they can still pass. They can still get the ball to A to B. So I'm not asking. So if I had a deep line playmaker, then I want more expensive passing, more creative passing. Maybe then I want balls in behind and whatnot. That will require more special passing. But just to progress the ball from A to B, I feel most players should be able to do that.
The way I sort of think about it is like, because everyone always thinks, oh, he's only got like a 4 for marking, right? That means he can't mark. No, that doesn't mean he can't mark. It like the way I think about it is it's actually a scale of like 0 to 100, but all the players start on 80, and then you just add on the last little bit. So it's like, okay, compared to a regular human, his level of marking is 84.
They did explain it, right? Yeah. Like the difference between a 10 and a 12 or whatever is not big at all. I'm pretty sure they explained that. Like it's like, for one, they're all professional. So basically these guys will be professional footballers, and these differences is not as great as what we think it is. So many people will be pushing for a 15 or a 16 on a certain attribute when that actually might not make the difference. There could be a secondary attribute that makes more of a difference. So if my finisher is on 40 and Tony's on 15, it doesn't mean he's the better finishing, because I could still have greater technique, greater composure. I'm going to be scoring my one-on-ones at higher rate, and I'm going to have more variety to my finishing as well, whereas
anticipation could be higher as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's the thing, right? I know some people are like, how has he scored 30 goals? His finishes only on 11. It's like, yeah, but he's very fast. He's very strong. He's got great movement. I mean, if he's scoring tap-ins, your finishing can be on minus 14.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Well, I'm glad we've got questions for RDF Tactics and not just me. So that's good. What about Mr. Maggio then? What's it look like in
I got to
Naples?
share my tactics. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to see my tactics. These are the
First off, why Napoli?
We're going unbeaten whole season. You're not gonna be left
4-2-3-1.
Oh Lord.
This isn't the lineup. We bought in Ryan Cherky. I spent all my transfer budget on Ryan Cherky.
We have to ask why. And all of his arrows are going down. So what you've done there?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, his
What's the
men's
training
not great.
methods?
Yeah, why? Yeah, wait, he doesn't look great. What did I do? What have I done?
Long throws 3, tackling 3, heading
What's that
4.
about, Si?
You bought an absolute donkey here, mate.
Surely
Come on.
your attacking midfielder's got to be able to throw.
Yeah, what have I done? No, actually, I'm looking at the rest of his attributes and I'm sort of questioning it. I'm like, wait, why did I spend so much money on Ryan Cherky?
Stamina
we
of
didn't
8.
question you at the time, but
Stamina of 8. Like, I mean, come on, I'm asthmatic. My stamina's 9.
Is he? Have I edited this since? I feel like he was better than this when I bought him.
you know what it is? His flair, that composure is actually, that is probably saving him
Dribbling,
a lot.
touch,
Yeah.
flair.
Dribbling. The thing is, though,
Technique.
again, if we're talking about combination, if we're just looking at, that's the thing that where FM tricks you, right? We're looking at this and we're thinking, oh, he looks not great. But if you're actually looking where the attributes where he is good at, those are sort of the attribute he needs to be himself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
So
also
if you're looking at his player traits, okay, maybe he can have better movement, off the ball movement, but he tries tricks, right? And to try tricks, you need to be good with your first touch, dribbling, flair, and technique.
2-footed.
If you've got a player and he's running with the ball often, I mean, like, try and get the ball off him.
2-footed as well, like very strong on both
plays
feet. That's I
both
don't think I've
flanks.
seen a player very strong on both feet very often.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of skill, and if that's what you've bought him for,
And he's 20.
and he,
There's
I was
a
gonna
long
say he's 20,
season to go. And he's already scored twice in the friendlies. So
and his value's high already as well.
yeah, I could resell him and make a profit, right? Saudi Arabia, you want to come buy an Algerian player? Yeah, 100 million. It's an investment for January.
And you know what? Maggio does drive a hard bargain as well, because Scott McTominay is still there, despite Arron and I trying to get him away from him.
I read an article about how Napoli love him right now because Inter Milan have bottled the league since we chose this. When we chose these teams, they were second, third, and fourth. Someone did comment that I had got the I had got the best like how it was unfair that I got Napoli, and it was like we drew it from a hat for one, and they both had a chance to redraw their teams. Tony had Juventus. And I'm also the only one without Champions League football because Napoli actually finished 9th last year. They did win the league the year before, and they are likely to now win the league this year, although there's a little bit of football still to be played. But Inter Milan were top of the league when we were looking at it. But yeah, Scott McTominay is I can see why the Napoli fans like him. I don't know. See, like I'm sort of looking and there's like a lot of 10s, 12s, 13s. And,
If you don't want him, Si, we'll take
aggressive.
him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I do use 2 DMs, and this tactic is quite an aggressive tactic. So I'm expecting to pick up a few cards. They're laughing. A little hint. We've already might have played a little bit, but I know this tactic brings up get some cards anyway. So I'm expecting, like particularly in that midfield, Zambo and Guisa. Actually, he's probably not too bad, but Billy Gilmore and particularly McTominay will get cards. I think he's got a 17 aggression, 16 bravery. Right, we're looking at Di Lorenzo. 15 aggression, 16 bravery. Like some of these guys are going to be diving into tackles, I'm sure. So I think we could, and like I'm going to need 4 DMs. I've got Lobotka, I've got Gilmore, I've got Nguisa, I've got McTominay, I've got Philip Billing. So I've got a couple of them to like rotate around. Plenty of options. I've actually got quite a deep squad. I've got like 2 right backs, 2 left backs. Maybe centre back I'm a little bit light on. Rafa Marine is like the backup. And then we got Juan Jesus as well. Even then, I think we're all right. Probably, I don't know where we've put Cherky in. This might be the weakest spot. Raspadori could go there. Anyway, I've gone for the 4-2-3-1. It's basically what I've been building up over the last year as a tactic. Right now, I'm playing with it as Portsmouth in my Portsmouth save. And I think we're 5th in the Premier League in like 3rd season. I'm still playing with some players that Portsmouth had in League 2. So it's working. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling I'm going to go unbeaten the whole season. And you guys are going to be left in the dust.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
I will also say I have already beaten Arron 3-1 in a friendly. See that right there?
That's my tactic.
I beat Inter Milan as well. Look at that.
Inter as well, yeah. I should say at this point then, if anyone's obviously, if you're watching and you're trying to get a bit of prediction, put your predictions in the chat as to who's going to be in the comments below. Sorry, as to who's going to finish the highest in the league out of us three. Then, so is it going to be 4-2-3-1 Maggio? Is it going to be RDF Tactics with his no central midfielders but his attacking ball playing centre forward, defending striker, or is it going to be me with my what is that? Let us know in the comments.
That is harsh on him.
I was trying to bring this
So I
guy
just
back.
popped up a player. He's like, "What is that?"
Which guy? This guy?
No, he popped up. And I just told you like, "What is that?"
He's my signing. He's joining. So I have made another signing. He's not joining until next year, unfortunately.
You made it, or did Napoli make it?
No, I bought him. I think. Did I buy him? Yeah, I bought him.
I mean, Si, you're very ahead of yourself buying a player for next season. Like, I mean, we haven't even started the league campaign yet. We might not even be at these clubs come the start of next season.
Did I? I was trying to think now. Aaron's thrown me. I was looking at Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. because whoever made this database must really be a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. I've seen like Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. and everyone's save, and he's insane. Let's see, Popovic. Is he? He's already at Napoli. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so he joins this. Oh yeah, because of the way the game works, it's messed it up. So he should be here now, really. So I'm just gonna go change that in the editor, get my man in. No, I think I'll survive without him.
6'4" lad.
He looks good for a 17-year-old, but he hasn't played in real life for Napoli. What do you think?
Interesting. I mean, he's 6'4". He gets my seal of approval.
If you play FM, that's all we care about. He's good. 6'4".
Did you see the thing that I put out on TikTok this week? Or Aaron, Si, you might have seen it in my stream that you were in the other day. I bought a player blind on stream. Not a blind player, Aaron. I bought a player blind, like sight unseen. So we're in Romania, and I asked my director of football for some suggestions on who to bring in, because I was like, I need a striker. And they recommended a lad called Adriano Pace, which is a great name, by the way. Great name. Brazilian. So
with a name like Adriano, he wasn't going to be Dutch, was he?
Well, you never know. You never know.
You say that, right? And I was scouting, and we found a player called Adriano in bloody Croatia.
That makes more sense, to be fair.
They've got a lot of Brazilians in Croatia, haven't they? So that
he's not Brazilian at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
This is what totally threw me off.
Okay, so Adriano Pace, 19 years old, from Corinthians, and I play with attribute masking on, so I don't get to see any of the attributes. And I was like, well, we tried to get him in a trial, and he didn't want to come. So I was like, well, let's just try and loan him in. And he wanted no wages and no fee. And I was like, well, it's like, you know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. Let's take it. Free hit. All I knew was he was 6'5". And I was like, that'll do for me. And he turned up, and he was all right, not bad. He's not pacey. I don't know what his surname. His surname's wrong. He should be called Adriano Jump. He's got 16 jumping reach, and he's got 11 for pace and acceleration. But he's already got me 10 goals in 14 games, so I'm happy with that.
Not bad.
I've looked out.
Yeah. I did actually used to live with a blind footballer, in a weird. So I can ring him up. You can sign him if you like.
Oh, shout out, by the way. Again, this is a link. Off we go. Side quest. Shout out, by the way, to Comedy's Josh Pugh, who is a international footballer. He plays for the England partially sighted side.
Yeah, that's the guy I used to live with. Played for the Brian.
Oh, you used to live with Josh, did you?
No, I didn't live with Josh.
I
live with a different England blinding. I don't know if it was the partially sighted team or the blind team. I assume there's both, right? Because this guy was fully blind.
There is both, yes.
Yeah, this guy was fully blind. They play with a little bell in the ball if you never see it. It's kind of cool.
They play with what?
A bell in the ball.
A bell. Not a bell. Well, that seems unfair.
They play with a little bell in the ball, yeah. And I think it's all walking.
A bit of a bell end. I was like, wait, but they played through what?
Just because they can't see, that doesn't.
We're getting cancelled. Great. That's
Well, the guy was a bit of a creep, so you know.
I mean, can't see nothing. I can't even.
Tony,
It's not even me that's ruined it this week. It's not even me. Like it's normally me that goes, get in the car, lads. We've got a side quest to do.
Tony, would
not
you
even
like
me.
to? Should we thank some Patreons that make the network save happen?
Think we should thank all of the Patreon.
Well, all the listeners, all
members
the listeners for sticking through this far. In general,
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few thank yous to do. So thank you to our legal team for making sure this episode can go live. As always, thank you for everyone who does listen, both on audio platforms. Thank you so much for everyone who listens on audio platforms still. YouTube, of course, as well. Thank you so much for that. Patreon, yes, of course, for yourselves, for the continued support. It allows us to put the network save on, and we hope you're enjoying it. We've already getting some comments from people saying they do love it. If you haven't signed up to Patreon, then you can get a free 7-day trial. Isn't that right, Arron? If they want to see the network save, try and cram as much of it in as you can within 7 days. And then what happens?
Well, first, you've got to type in www.patreon.com/the FM show pod. That's patreon.com/the FM show pod. If you don't want to support us for free for a week, you can just join from as little as £3. And like Tony said, you can come and enjoy some bonus episodes, especially the network save.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be good. And of course, you get early access as well to all the public episodes, and you get a private Discord channel as well. So there's loads of cool things for that, and we'll be adding more and more as we come towards FM26. Sai, updates on the FM show tournament will be coming out imminently, I believe.
We're about to go into the knockout phase. Are you through?
It's been a bit of a challenge.
No,
Arron.
unless I have been given
we're not talking
some
about
sort of
my
Champions
performance
League
either.
bias.
Oh, so Arron was in it. I'm curious how Arron.
I
got
wasn't
on.
it, yeah.
Well,
I told you, because remember,
you've been using a
yeah,
pseudonym.
yeah.
It's Guy Incognito, wasn't he?
I've got to try and find who Arron was now. Apparently, it's not gone well though.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
really?
You might be able to spot my name, actually. Let me check my name. Let me check the email.
There's at
I
least
did-
one of
I
the
did
creator I
leave a
know
hint in the email.
who's got a pseudonym, and we've spotted it. We know who you are. We see you. So that's going to be quite good fun.
One second, let me see.
The other one
but
with
yes,
the pseudonym.
site updates.
Yeah. So yeah, we are about to enter into the knockout phase. But so one of the things I might do. I don't know why I'm thinking of doing this, because this has already been chaos. But because it's all set up already.
Is this what you've mentioned in Discord today? Are you gonna? Oh God!
You don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. But I thought I can just set it up and run it, and because we know that some people in the community would like to be playing more matches more often. There's a long wait before FM29.
The next iteration of Football Manager. Yeah.
So I think one of the things we might be able to do, and especially as we're heading into the knockout phase now, some people have been already knocked out or whatever. I think that the platform challenge, I can probably just set up a league, and people who want to enter it can enter it, and it just goes, and you play your matches or you don't. Like, we're not gonna police it.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what? The demand is there. We are getting messages in the Discord for it saying, like, look, you know, we want this sort of thing. So if you're not in the Discord already, I think that's a good time. Follow the link in the description below. Join the Discord, which is growing exponentially, by the way. So again, thank you for all the support and everyone who's joining in there. And then come and obviously let us know if you want to be part of a potential new online league, which could be a lot of fun. So thank you, Sai, for organising that.
Yeah, we'll let the knockout rounds go a little bit in the other competition first, but I think
but again, let's get interest and all that sort of things. We'll work it out and plan it out as we can do. Speaking of online leagues, we're going to lock this one off. I'm going to go and get a bit more network save done. So if you, of course, Patreons, you will see this on Wednesday when it comes out.
Galacticos. We're Real Madrid supporters for the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Against Atalanta.
I don't know if that's the Real Madrid.
Atalanta.
What's the Real Madrid chant? I'm sure it's just not Galacticos. I don't even know if they're still called Galacticos. Are they?
Nah, it's fine. Los Blancos, isn't it?
But that's the nickname. But I don't know what they chant.
Hala Madrid.
Well, you said that very aggressively.
Because they sound Madrid fans sound angry, man. I've never met a happy Madrid fan. Just never. They're never happy.
If you're a happy Madrid fan, write in.
Yeah, let us know, man. Because you don't win the Champions League. Yeah, we win it again next year.
Send us a photograph to show us just how happy you are as well. Because don't just say I'm a happy Madrid fan. Because I mean, we need evidence of this.
I could just picture them just with the Champions League trophy.
What, just bored with another
another
Champions
League. I was like, heavy, aren't these?
Yeah. Just hanging out with this guy and this is the European trophy again.
When did number 20 get here?
Right, we're gonna go and play some network save. Right, okay. Thank you as always for listening and watching and supporting. Do comment below on all the things. Who is going to win out of us three? Where are we going to finish in the league? And do let us know if you're a happy Real Madrid fan. As always, take care of yourselves, everyone. Speak to you all next week. All the best. Bye now.
Toodles.